good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Anyway, welcome to another Talking Tech with a Friendly Tree. This time I want to talk about Nina's throw game in Tekken 7. So there's a lot to get through in this video, so bear with me, and let's look at where we can start going through all of Nina's throws. So first off, I want to look at Nina's throws. We'll talk about the inputs, we'll talk about the different breaks to how to break the throws, and we'll talk about her multi-throws. Very first thing I'll mention is her while standing 3 spider knee. So this isn't a typical throw, this is a move on hit that if you press 1+2 goes into a throw animation. So beyond this beginning, we're not really going to talk about these sort of moves, okay? We're going to talk about ones that have a throw hitbox. You'll also notice with this though, just quickly, that it does seem to typically leave Nina on the right side. Anyway, these are the moves with the throw hitbox. So we're going to start with the arm grab flip. This is a 1+3. You can see her left arm go up a little bit higher. And if you press the forward, she comes forward a little bit further. Brings the range, but it does slow down the move. Now, the basic command throws in this game are a 1 or a 2 break. If we see the opponent break the throw, we're still on the left side, so you use this throw, you always stay on the same side. Now if we go to the over the back toss, you can see it's got a few extensions. Oops. You can see the left arm sort of goes down a little bit. Once again, because it's a basic throw, it's a 1 or a 2 break. So that's the 1-2-1 extension. 1-2-1, 2-1-3 does this a little bit for a little bit more damage. You see with this one, it swaps sides. And if we go to try and, if they break it, you still swap sides. So this can be good for positioning. Okay, the rest of the throws we're going to look at are command throw. Oh, sorry, I forgot about these ones. So we've got the triangle hold from the left. The other throw from the right. So this is to the left side of the opponent, the right side of the opponent, or from behind the opponent. And how to break these throws, if you're doing it from your opponent's left side, they press 1, they press their left limb to break. Right, they press 2. And from behind, it's actually unbreakable. Now all of Nina's throws are highs, so they are all duckable, remember that. Okay, this time, now we're going into the command throws. So down forward 1+3, down forward 2+4. So these are the bulk of Nina's throw game in my opinion. That's down forward 1+3. That's down forward 1+3 again. And if it breaks, it's a tight window to break compared to the others, but if it breaks you stay on the same side. Now if we go to the down forward 2+4, so that's a 1 break by the way, this one's a 2 break, and you see on hit it swaps sides, normal break you stay on the same side. Next one we'll go to is the up forward 1+2, jumping flip as they call it. So I see this one used a lot, I guess it's a pretty easy input. Throws them to the other side of the screen, so it doesn't really give you any sort of ongoing pressure available, except for a run up 1+2 or something. And on break it swaps sides. So you can use it for positional advantage too, you either get damage or you get a side swap. One important thing to mention about this move is, although it may do a fair bit of damage, they can tech roll as they land to either side and reduce the damage. Unless they hit a wall of course, then they can't tech roll. Alright, now we're going to look at the down forward 1. So although the input is a 1, you can see both her hands go forward at the same time. It's a 1+2 break for this throw. A lot of damage, leaves them right in front of you. On break, once again a tight window, you can see there's no change to position if they break it. Alright, so from here we're going to go into Nina's multi-throws. So we've got the backhand slap, and this has 3 different follow-ups. So the move itself is a 2 break, then we've got the 3-4-3 1+2, which is a 1+2 break, the 2-3-4 2-2, which is a 2 break, and the 1-3-2-1, which is a 1 break. So quarter circle forward, you see her move forward, you can see her right hand sort of move forward a little bit lower. That implies it's a 2 break, and because it's not a basic throw, you have to break it with a 2. Because it's from a quarter circle forward, you can do it from a side step 1, and I mean you could mix it up with something like a while standing 1, which is a mid, so they can't duck, so they're afraid of ducking at least. Okay, so with the 3-4-3 1+2, that's a 1+2 break. The 2-3-4 2-2 is a 2 break. Of course it's got follow-ups after that. We're looking at a 1 break or a 2 break there. And then the 1-3-2-1 is a 1 break, and it's got follow-ups too, which is either a 1 or a 2 break. Okay, now we're going to the Betrayer, so quarter circle back 1+4. This is an interesting one because this one doesn't have any breaks. The initial hit is actually guaranteed. They can't break it once if they are standing when you hit them with it. Oops. The catch of this is it's got pretty bad range, of course, but there are different setups you could do at the wall. Yeah. So there you see. And strange enough, the camera changes even on, well, camera changes regardless of what they do, so for some reason Nina seems to always end up on the right side. You see there, if you try and do a follow-up, they can still break the follow-ups from it. Alright, now let's look at the next command throw. So we're looking at the crab hold, quarter circle forward 3+4. So this has a couple of follow-ups as well, which can be broken, of course. So the move itself is a 1 break, and you'll see the animation soon showing that the left hand goes forward. The heel hold there, you can see it's a 2 break, and you can actually do it with a while running 3 or out forward 3+4 to go straight into it. So there you see the move, and you can see the left arm go up. That was the move, you can see, look, we go into it, same animation there, so same follow-ups there. The jump is breakable, by the way, I'll show that in a moment. And just like with the quarter circle forward 1+2, you could do it from a side step 1, get them afraid of ducking with the while rising 1 or with the while rising 4 or something. So there you go, you see the 1 break, you see them break the jumping heel hold. Alright, moving into the more technical stuff with the throw startup frames. So I've broken into just a few different sections depending on the speed of the move, and I'm trying to show how I test it here, okay? So, for example, if you do a down 4-1 on block with Nina, you're neutral. So that's how I'm setting it to neutral. And I'm doing the down forward 1+3 here. So it's at neutral, any move they do comes at the same speed. So you can see if they do an 11 frame or 4, it trades, but it can't trade. But if you do a 12 frame, back 2-2, or back 2, it wins. Now the catch with the throw, of course, is it's a throw animation. I mean, if they're airborne, if they're ducking during the move or anything, it's not going to work. And a trade in this situation is actually going to make you lose. So that's showing it's 11 frame, because it's a throw it loses. So it beats 12 frames being 11 frame, it doesn't trade with 11 frames. So likewise with the down forward 2+4. So loses to 11 frames, beats 12 frames. Okay, so that's just the 1+3. So it loses to 12 frames. But it beats it down from 1 of 13 frames, so it's 12 frames. If we look at the basic 2+4 now. Don't worry about the follow-ups, of course. There's no need for this testing. So it loses to 12 frames. Beats 13 frame again. So it's 12 frame startup. The up forward 1+2. So same method of testing, loses to 12 frames, but it beats a 13 frame, so it comes out at 12 frames. The down forward 1. This is if you're buffering it, of course, so you can see a down forward 1 there at 1. Loses to 12 frame. Beats 13 frames. So this is with buffering the input, getting it to come out as fast as possible, of course. So I've used a different method of testing for the quarter circle forwards. So what I'm doing is a down forward 3-2 cancelling into the forward sway. I'm using while standing 1 here because I know it's 13 frames, just to demonstrate. So you can see it trades at the 14 frame, which means that down forward 3-2 forward leaves you at -1. So with that in mind, we can test the throws. So quarter circle forward 1+2. We can see it beats a 13 frame, but it loses to a 12. Because we know if they come out on the same frame, it loses because it can't trade, then we know that it's coming out at 13 frames. If we do the same thing with quarter circle forward 3+4, beats a 13 frame, loses to a 12, which is effectively coming out in 13 frames. So we know that it's a 13 frame throw as well. Alright, now we're going to look at the forward 1+3 and the forward 2+4. I mentioned before, doing that makes it a little bit slower. We use the down 4-1 on block to make it neutral. You can see there, a 15 frame beats it, beats the forward 1+3. If we do a 16 frame, the throw wins, meaning that comes out at 15 frames. With the forward 2+4, so remember for these two moves, they're both a 1 or a 2 break. That's the 16 frame there, it beats it. If we do the 15 frame, the 15 frame wins. So that also comes out at 15 frames. Quarter circle back 1+4 is a bit harder to test. So what I've done is a sidestep 1 back and with Nina. So you can see here, pretty bad range of course. If I do a 19 frame, the 19 frame wins there. If I do a 24 frame, the throw wins. Sidestep 2, 22 frame, and that wins. I can tell you from testing with other characters that this move comes out at 21 frame. There were no other moves I came across that I could do that didn't make Nina airborne. Alright, let's have a look at some setup examples, different ways that you can put these throws into your gameplay, okay? So, I mean, because they're all duckable, a lot of it comes down to actually conditioning the opponent, making sure that they're not going to randomly duck or predict a low or something in that situation. So, in your gameplay, you need to use a lot of mids if you want to implement throws. And, I mean, Nina's definitely a grappler. She's got a very strong throw game, especially with the nerfs to the basic throws. Now her throw game is very good compared to many. The main throws we want to use are the down forward 1+3, the down forward 2+4, up forward 1+2 if you want because of the positional change as well, and the down forward 1. So up forward 1+2 would be good to use if you're at the wall yourself, because you get away from the wall whether they break or not. You could also use a 2+4 or other things, but you know. Okay, so you could do it after a 10 frame punish, leaving you at +5. You do it after a 12 frame punish, which also leaves you at +5. Remember, they can still duck here. 14 frame punish leaves you at +7, perfect for a throw. Really, any situation that leaves you plus gives you a good opportunity. Even a down forward 1. Down forward 1 on hit, it's good for doing a throw. Forward 2, just because of the range, it's 13 frame, you could mix it up with a mid jab like that, down forward 4, or you could do a throw. After a while standing 1, you've got the 1+2 they can't interrupt, The 4 they can interrupt, but makes them afraid of ducking. Or you could do another mid, or you could just go for a throw. This is once you've conditioned the opponent, because while standing 1 on its own is not plus. A down 2 on hit leaves you neutral. Perfect for doing a throw as well. Because they're left having to guess in that situation. So you can crouch cancel and do a 1 or a 2 break, or an up forward 1+2 is an easy option there, because you can do that from crouching, and it comes out as a 1+2 break. Alright, we can also look at moves that are plus on block, such as the ever classic forward 3 +6 on block. As you can see here, it doesn't always reach. The down forward 2+4 won't reach. But you can still do a 1 or a 1+2 break up there, and that'll work. That'll reach at most ranges. Down 3-4-3, as long as they're not stepping the last hit, or low parrying the second, or ducking the third, you can do it. Alright, now here's what most people come here for, I think. The Oki from the throws. So what can you do after a throw? We're going to stick with the same 3 throws, okay? The down forward 1+2, the down forward 2+4, and the down forward 1. The first thing we're looking at here is the 1+4. Just showing if they do nothing from any of these 3 throws, this move will not hit. It does not hit OTG. We set them to wake up backwards. For both the 1 break and the 2 break, you'll see they're too far away. So that's not in your favour, because they can wake up and punish you. The down forward 1, they're in range, so it becomes a 50-50. If they're standing up, a similar sort of case. When I was testing this, occasionally it was catching the opponent while they were standing up backwards, but I'm not sure if it's that I'm a frame slow or if it was just that I was testing a little bit incorrectly. Typically it seems they can stand up and it's just a 50-50. Front roll, so it's going to hit, but it's not going to do much damage. It's not a great reward here, is it? You've heard me say many times in the past, front roll seems to lose to everything. They side roll left. I should also point out from the positioning that the opponent is left in after these throws, none of them let them do a recovery kick or a spring kick. So all of these throws are limiting their options. There's also no way for them to do any sort of quick rise. The ground technique as it is in practice. Alright, so you can see this isn't working too well against the grounded rolls, is it? But it does catch there. Once again, for very little damage. Okay, what if they do a mid-kick? So beats the mid-kick, hits them and leaves them forced crouch. You know, that on hit is another good move to use for a throw setup actually. So if you get them with that, you can go straight into another throw if you wanted. I mean, they could duck it still. You can condition them with mids. Wake up low kick. One plus 4 is 15 frames, so this is showing that any move 15 frame or faster will come out before the wake up mid or the wake up low kick for all of these throws. Okay, so now I want to look at down 4 as an option. So this is Nina's fastest low, 12 frame low, generic low, but still, it's a very good low, very good tool for Nina. So it doesn't hit OTG at all. Similar to the 1 plus 4, you can see it's not really working too well here either if they wake up backward. Don't worry, we're coming up to more things to show different options to deal with these, because at the moment it's looking like she has some gaping weaknesses here, but I assure you she has options. Just got to cover some basic options so you get an idea. So I mean this, as long as they're not waking up backwards and except for the 1 break. You can see if they stand up, it's a mid-low 50-50 with the 1+4 if you do that. Not that it's a great reward once again. Okay, so front roll, wins, loses. So all this time he's saying that everything beats front roll, down forward does not. Okay, the side rolls. Side roll left. Works on the 2 break again. And the 1+2, but loses on the 1. Side roll right. Works there. Works there. Yeah, works there. Okay, and the wake up kicks, I mean, we saw that a 15 frame worked before, so you assume this is going to beat any of the wake up kicks. But yeah, not a huge reward, but I mean, a quick poke on hit keeps up your pressure a little bit. Yeah, beats all that pretty clean. But they can just lay there, they could delay their kicks, you know, there are many things they could do. Okay, now we're getting into some of the meatier options. So, forward 1+2, 17 frame, doesn't hit OTG, does power crush. When that it doesn't hit OTG hurts here, of course. But what if they wake up backward? Catches them when they wake up backward. Not a 50-50, just a catch. On the 1+3, or the 1 break. And the 2 break. The 1+2 she recovers a bit faster, so that's a 50-50 and it is neg 14, so it's a little bit risky. But there are so many people these days that just always do a wake up backward, or at least I encounter a lot of people who do, so it's good to know there that you've got an option that will beat it clean for the 1 or the 2 break. Yeah, standing up normally for all 3 options, of course, is a 50-50. And here, once again, to prove my previous statements wrong, forward roll for the 1 break, it works. The 2 break, it works. But the 1+2, if you do it a little bit delayed, it didn't work. Let's do it properly. Do it properly, still doesn't work. So that's another case where you lose to a forward roll, of all things. Okay, the side rolls. Hits. So from the 2 break, hits. Gotta get these inputs right. Yeah, doesn't work. So you can already see it's not the best option to do against the 1+2 break. For the 1 and 2, it's a viable option. It's hitting quite a lot of times here. It's just if they stand up or they do nothing so far. Jeez, I've really got to get that right. Why do I keep doing it? Okay, the wake up mid kick. Now this is where power crush comes into play. So you still win, but I mean, I guess it's a bit of a trade, but it's a trade in your favour. The 2 break, yeah, you just beat it clean. The 1+2, you beat it clean. So I may have tested that wrong. Maybe it's just wins clean against the wall. But even if you delay it a little bit, you can see it still wins because of the power crush. Unfortunately, lows beat power crushes. These all the 1 and the 1+2. You get launched from it, so that's pretty high risk. Okay, what about more passive options? So sidestepping. So we're looking at sidestep left. Obviously, if they lay on the ground, you're not really going to be, you know, you're not getting any damage there. They're not getting any reward. It's a bit of a stalemate. So let's kick down to them doing the aggressive options. So you force a whiff, and you can get, I'm doing a 16 frame launch. You could probably get more if you wanted. 16 frames a good option there though. Nice speed just in case, you know, giving you time to hit confirm easily. So sidestep left, just beat all the mid kicks. Sidestepping left against the low kicks. Look at that again. No, so the low kick seems to follow you if you sidestep left with the one break. But you can do it with the two break. And the 1+2 break. Well, no surprise now. What should we look at after sidestep left? Let's have a look at sidestep right. So once again, I'm not going to show you all the different passive options here. Let's go straight into the kicks. So can you sidestep right there mid kick from the one break? Yes you can. Can you sidestep right there mid kick from the two break? Yes you can. Can you sidestep right from the 1+2? Of course you can. So sidestep right beats all of the mids. What about the lows? So we know this lost to sidestep left lost to this. And it appears that it loses, the low kick beats it from the one break both ways. But sidestep right seems to work to beat the lows on the two break and the 1+2 break. So you can sidestep left or right, same sort of advantage. So you might as well use it for positional advantage. Or I mean, Nina's usually stronger when she's sidestepping to the right. Okay, next option I want to look at is a bit of a unique one. I just wanted to show the possibilities. So jumping. So what I'm doing here, I'm showing is I'm jumping. I'm seeing it's not hitting, so I'm confirming into a hit. Well, I'm seeing they're not moving, so I'm confirming into a hit. Okay, so they wake up backwards, and you can go straight to a 50-50 if you see them wake up backwards. I mean, you can do an instant while standing move there, you can do an instant low, you can do whatever you want, really. Movement tool is not too common in Tekken, I suppose, but still, you've got to consider every option. So once again, let's go straight to the aggressive options, because this is where it gets interesting. So the one, I mean, you lose to the mid kick there, but let's see what happens with the two break. You jump over them, you can get a full back turn punish. And the 1+2, you jump over them, you get a full back turn punish. And what about the low kicks? You jump over them, you get a full back turn punish. This is also useful, I mean, if you're at the wall when you do these throws, jumping over, like it's a pretty safe option you can do, because they can't do a spring kick or anything. If they try and do a get up kick for some crazy reason, you've got a wall splat into an insane amount of damage. Okay, next one is the quarter-circle back. Now, I've said earlier that I don't really use ice pick, but here's a good situation for the ice pick quarter-circle back forward. So you can see here it hits OTG, and it hits OTG from all angles. So if they do nothing, ice pick works well there. It is risky, it is very punishable. You can see if they wake up backward, it completely whiffs, so it's anything punishable as long as it reaches. Off the 1+2 break, they can't get out of range, so it's a 50-50, but still a risky 50-50. And if they just stand up, it's also a 50-50. The interesting thing about this, and we'll get up to this when it gets to the kicks, is the sway really. I mean, everyone knows that her quarter-circle back sway has a lot of evasion. And you'll see just how that plays into things soon. see it beats the forward roll, and if you get the timing right... Oh, hold on. Does it beat this? Yeah, it does. But if you got the timing right, you can also back turn launch off the one break. Now if they side roll to the left, it loses. It loses. And it loses. So side roll left beats it there. If they side roll to the right, it hits. It's got that little bit of tracking. So a side roll to the right will get beat for all three throws. Okay, now the kicks. So this is where it gets a lot more interesting here. Because of the back sway, you force a whiff, so you get a full launch punish. You can even confirm this. I tried confirming with upward 2-1, but I found the range wasn't good enough, so Ice Pick is the option I've gone for here, because it has better range. You can see there, it just beats all the mid kicks, and you get a full launch. Ton of damage. What about the low kicks? This is, yeah, so it forces the one break a whiff. It doesn't make the two break whiff, but because of the back sway, you block the low. And unfortunately, because of the range, you don't get anything from it, okay? So, down one's the fastest option she has there, but it won't reach. And while rising 4 won't reach either. Okay, now here are the good old Oki charts. With the options that I've given, there's nothing that just clean beats Nina's Oki. You can see things like 1+4, there are 4 things that it loses, but most things you've got a different option to do. And Wake Up Low seems to beat a lot, but it's not really the be-all beating option. When you go to the 2 break, I mean, you can see that's not the case, and a lot of your passive options are just either, yeah, come out even, you can force them into a 50-50 after, or you win. So, pretty good options there. It's a little bit different if we go on to the 1+2 break. For example, stand up back, you can see there's nothing that cleanly beats it, or stand up, it's 50-50s as well. And that's just from the options I've given, of course, so there are plenty of other different things you could do after a throw. These are just my examples, and just giving you an idea of what you can do. Alright, well, that's a lot to cover for one video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please let me know how you're using throws in your matches. And of course, please like and subscribe. Let me know anything else you'd like me to upload. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, and I'm really grateful for all the support. So, once again, thanks guys. Catch you next time.